recording. And I guess, Heather, I'll just go down the list and do a roll call so we can make sure we capture everybody's just in case.
Okay.
Heather, I see you in the video, so you're there. Jeff Hedstrom is here. Stephen J.
Yeah, I'm here.
Jenny Connolly.
Yes.
Jeremy Grappo.
Here.
Kenny Kettner.
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks.
Phoebe Ferguson.
I'm here.
And Megan Burns.
Hello, hello.
Hello. And that is everybody I see on the list. Did I miss anyone? All right. I will share my screen. Everybody see that?
Yep.
So, welcome everyone. Thank you for attending. I believe this is my last meeting as president, so sorry I wasn't more organized this month. Apologize for the delay on the agenda and everything, but it's been very, very fun serving in this capacity and working with each of you. And yeah, we have a lot of new business to go through. So bring up the April meeting minutes. Did everybody get a chance to look these through? Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Last April's meeting.
Yeah, the only thing I'll send Heather is the link to the YouTube. I think that we should probably start including that in our minutes.
Excellent. Anybody else? We covered a lot, so we do have this on the agenda. The full scope contract. Thank you, Jenny, for reminding me about that. Oh, what is going on here? I did send an email to Michelle and Michael, and I believe I copied Jeff and Jenny, but I have not heard back from them. So, and I don't see her here today. I know they probably have been busy with other conferences and they just got done with our conference. I'm guessing they've just been a little busy, so we can talk about that, I guess, in a little more detail after this. But is there a motion to approve these minutes?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
This is Steve. I'll second.
Thanks, Steve. All in favor, say aye.
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 Bye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right. April meeting minutes have been approved. Thank you, everybody. Move straight into new business. The election results, which I forgot to pull up, that Jeff sent through, are in. Thank you, Jeff, for staying on top of it, and Jenny and Megan, everybody on the committee. It was a very great turnout this year. With that, I'm going to just turn it over to Jenny and Jeff if you both want to kind of work through this, and I believe we can just probably move into ratifying the results from there.
Okay. So vice president for 3 years, we had Mike Powell running. He got 100% of the votes. We had 76 responses for the election. So Mike is the nominee for vice president.
There was 78 total, actually.
Oh, 78. Okay, his is 76.
Yeah, there was 2 skips.
Okay.
Which is up from last year too. I think we had 75 from last year.
Because we ran around yesterday in case we had a tie, saying you need to vote. Every vote counts. Secretary for a 2-year term, we had Aaron Vaughn and Heather Woodland. Aaron won by 2 votes.
I thought this
Ooh,
one could have been.
tight.
This one could have been a tie. It was close. I think it got down to 1 vote. I don't know.
Yay.
Yeah, I was checking it quite frequently. I don't know if Heather, you were actually winning at any point, but yeah, it was fairly close the entire time.
It means I can do other things now.
There you go.
Heather,
You're
you were
Other
amazing.
things with MAGIP, I hope.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
were amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Yep. You're always
Thank you,
welcome
Heather.
back, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Treasurer, that's a 2-year term as well. Nate was the only one running, so yeah, he got 78 votes. Tech committee, Jason Danielson and Kenny Kettner. Jason won that. Also not by a landslide by any means. That was also a close one.
Yep.
Scholarships and grants, Rob and Craig Threlkeld were the people running, and Rob is still in.
That one was a landslide.
That one was pretty much a landslide. Yeah, that's it.
Does anybody have any
So-
questions or comments? Oh, sorry, Jenny, go ahead.
So yeah, Mike Powell, Aaron Vaughn, Nate Wold, Jason Danielson, and Robert All.
I guess this can wait until after the motion, but probably after we ratify the results, we probably should talk a little bit about orientation and getting that set up.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to ratify these results if no one has a comment about them.
This is
second?
Jeremy, I second.
Oh. Thanks, Jeremy. All in favor say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right. These election results have reviewed and accepted.
I can reach out and let these people know probably this afternoon.
Heather,
I'm on the meeting.
Heather, Kenny, and Jeremy, you've all been amazing to work with. Thank you so much for everything you've done for the board.
Absolutely.
Wish I could.
And thank you, Michael, for the job you've done too.
Thank you. Really wish we could have met last year, but of course the circumstances. So hopefully our paths will cross again, which I'm sure they will.
Yep.
Oh, that's a guarantee. No doubt there. Thanks all.
Again, there's still lots of work with MAGIP to be done, so.
Yep, for sure. Jeremy, I guess just as a side note too, you know, getting to work with you on that conference planning committee in Butte there was a highlight for my MAGIP career too. So yeah, you all are going to be very, very missed.
Absolutely. One of my fondest memories there, Michael. So thank you. Along with that retreat as well. So
Yeah, that was great.
definitely.
Michael,
So-
you're not done. You still got another year.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I'm just getting sentimental with the individuals who are fully gone or done.
The pressure is off of you though, with not being
Yeah.
president any longer.
I will say that Jeff is one of the most tenacious MAGIP members I've ever known. So this is going to be, I think, one of the most vibrant terms in MAGIP history. I have no doubt.
No, stop.
Well, and move on before I come to tears here.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about orientation? Because I think last time I think we set up one before the June meeting, so probably be a good idea to do that.
Yeah.
or shortly
think-
thereafter, whatever works with, I mean, we'll have to coordinate with more schedules this time, so.
Yeah, I can't remember what, I know we had to do it online last year, and I think that's definitely the case again here. So our next meeting is June 15th. You're thinking, Jeff, do you wanna try to do it before or after? I mean, do you have a preference, Jeff?
I mean, not at the moment. I mean, I certainly can coordinate that.
I think we did it after their first board meeting last year. I know because
Yeah.
it's tight. It's tight. I mean,
Okay, yeah, I'll talk with Jenny because when she makes the announcement to those four, I think at the same time we probably should include some sort of poll with some options. So I'll just talk with Jenny after kind of a sidebar after the meeting, and we'll get something going.
That works.
I can. We do have some orientation material. I don't know. I'm sure, Jeff, you've probably seen it. I'll try to find where that's stored here.
Okay, yeah, I just might need a refresher where it's at, but yeah, I'm sure it's been well documented over the years.
Yeah, it's somewhere here. Yeah, so I guess action item, I'll try to find at least what we had last year for me. This is an item that Jeff brought up, system polling options.
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna have to enable the screen sharing.
Okay, let me stop mine.
I've done a little testing on it. I'm going to probably test it on the retreat, actually, kind of setting up the options for the retreat. So I want to do a couple polls in the next few days. But I kind of just did a dummy one on the election.
I just made you the host. I didn't see an option to allow you to present without that, so.
Okay, can everybody see my screen? This has a poll on it.
Yep.
Okay. So this is kind of the way Northwest GIS users group kind of went with, and so they sent out, I think, some bylaw changes recently, and I wish I hadn't voted and I could show you kind of how it looks in the email, but essentially it has you click on a poll and it takes you to something very similar to like this, where it's system poll, and then it prompts you to log in. So then we would get away from having to export the members list, because actually in the settings here, let me see if I can go back. I might not be able to go back because it's already published. But when you're setting up this, you can kind of specify who has access. So like this one, I just set it to board members. So I guess if you guys were to try this, I'll post it in the chat. You should be able to open it, but obviously it prompts you to log in too. So I mean I'm in favor of going this way, just because the problem that we ran into is the city of Missoula. They didn't even get, none of them got their ballots, and then city of Billings was similar, which is kind of weird because they had about half of them, the emails bounced, and the other half got it. So I don't know.
Ours all went to spam filter.
Yeah, well, yeah, but like they didn't even receive it. Like it didn't even hit it didn't even hit the network at all. It bounced before the spam. And so something like this could still end up in your spam, but as long as you've unblocked it, and like if say you're getting all of the conference notifications, it would come along with that. I think it comes as like admin@magip.org. That's kind of the email it comes from.
I really like this idea because it takes people to the website.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Instead of just answering the poll and moving on. This might actually get some other views and other things in the website.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously I want to test this out more before next year's election, obviously. But yeah, we could start using this for other things too, like polls about the conference itself and getting ideas. And I believe it archives all of them too. I mean, the only point that Megan brought up is, which I need to check with SurveyMonkey, because we're paying for SurveyMonkey annually. Is that right there, Jeremy?
So yes, I believe that is the case right now.
Okay, because I know SurveyMonkey offers their free version, I believe, but I don't know if we'd have access to the old surveys. So that's one thing I want to check into first. The other option that Megan suggested was exporting all of our surveys into a PDF or something.
Yes, we do pay for the annual membership, and that's usually in the fall. It looks like it cycles on, and that's $336, I believe.
Yeah, and I think this was just recently that Wild Apricot added this. I think it was like 2018 or 2019, so it's not that old.
No, I do like this setup though quite a bit. This is actually, it's just so much more seamless. And like Jenny said, it takes you to the site itself. So I like this option quite a bit.
Can you see the, I made my votes. What does the results look like? The results page, how does that get viewed on this?
Yeah, so Megan might be able to explain this better to me. But she actually had to grant like I guess, Megan, you're here, right? Maybe you can explain this better to me.
I'm here. I haven't looked at the poll part yet, so.
Because this tab didn't originally show up. I think you had to give me permissions for that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
That's how you get to the polls.
Yep. Yeah, so it's similar to SurveyMonkey. And really with this too, you can set it so it's anonymous. So like that was, or you can set it up where it tracks by the membership too. So, but I don't know if you noticed on the poll, it does specify what option it is.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I think people like to see that before they.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm still cool with it, you know, the poll remaining anonymous, because only board member or only MAGIP members are going to receive it anyway. So it doesn't matter if we know who votes for what, you know. I think maybe the only polls maybe that would matter is maybe the conference polls, where you would maybe want some sort of tie with the person that voted for something. I don't know. Obviously theme or something, but.
Well, then you ask specific questions to get at that. Without getting their name.
I think it's just an option. And when you're setting up the polls, it's like one of these. Yeah, see right there, responses. You would just change that to the other option.
I like this, and if we can save $336 or whatever it was, then great.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do some more playing around with it. I want to kind of test it on our retreat polls. So we'll start with that.
That is a good pilot.
And you get a feedback. You get a once you send it, you get your details of how you voted.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just thank you for your vote below your voting details.
Okay.
So that way you know it went through. You don't have to wonder.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like Rob was in the waiting room.
Oh, geez.
I just admitted him.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah. More to come next month.
Hey, can you?
Oh, I got to make you host again, don't I?
Yeah, maybe there's a setting we need to change that allows everyone to share. I should check that.
I think it's just at the bottom. It says share screen.
Yeah,
That
I'll,
work?
let's see.
Well, it says the host has to.
Try it now there, Michael.
Yeah, that worked.
Cool. Yeah, you just have to, there's like that little arrow with share screen. And then I just changed it to the multiple participants can share simultaneously.
Oh, you're smart. Nice.
Well, and then also there's one where it's one participant can share at a time, and you can change it to all participants or only a host. So that's another option too. I'll have to look into changing the default on that, because I would imagine that there's a way to change it so you don't have to do it every month. I'll look into that.
So just to keep things moving, next item on the agenda is the budget. I believe we do have until June, but I'm assuming folks have had plenty of time to look at what Jeremy sent us. I don't know, Jeremy, is there any other items you want to relay before we? I'm ready to at least vote on this. But Jeremy, do you have anything you wanted to add, or?
Well, we're going to spend $336 less.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe, yeah. But otherwise, no. I was waiting for a full conference review from Michelle to be able to update those numbers up above. I believe we still go back to, oh God, early April with that. I think similarly, I think she started moving on to other conferences this last couple weeks, and that got lost in the mix. But as far as the budget itself, one, we know the conference did well and did well by well over $10,000. I think that, as is with what we see here, this is a pretty good representation of what we could expect. And not much has changed, so I'll leave it there.
So Jeremy, I think Michael and I probably need to reach out to Michelle on a number of fronts. I would actually feel better if we waited until next month. I mean, honestly, there's no reason for us to approve this today. So we could wait until next month, and that way we can at least get the final numbers in there, get it out to everybody, so we can review with the actual numbers from the conference.
I think that the proposal itself, as far as what you see in these numbers, is sound, but I think for a complete picture, to have something that's ratified, well, approved by the entirety of the board, it's a good call to get all the numbers official in the sealed document, basically. I agree.
If that's the case, I think you should send this out to the new board members, because they'll be the ones voting on this.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's a good call.
Agreed. If the board is comfortable with that today, I would also recommend that, second that opinion.
And I also think it would be a good idea to have the conversation with Michelle before it's finalized.
Well, I guess we could probably just go ahead and add the new members to that Google group, right? I mean, there's probably no reason not to right now.
No, I think it'd be good too. I'll get an email out to him here shortly.
And then maybe we can CC Jeremy on it, or maybe just keep him on for another month or so, just get us through the budget stuff. I mean, what does everybody feel about that?
Sounds great to me, Jeremy, if you're willing to help us out in the transition a little bit.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to. I guess I'd be present more as kind of like a Michelle-esque member versus a voting member, but I'd absolutely love to do that.
Yeah, if you can make an appearance during, especially next month's board meeting too. Yeah. Just because Nate's not going to know what this is quite yet.
Exactly.
So.
Drop it in his lap and run.
Here, throw you the fire. Come on, figure this out. Let's go.
Board meetings are still open meetings.
Just throw them under the bus. Be like, Nate, this budget's crap.
This is yours. Defend it. That is a great point. I will be there to answer questions on it as well. Poor guy. I don't want to leave him with us. We'll literally be seeing red.
Well, that's a great point. totally spaced out, Michelle. Not giving us those numbers yet. So, alrighty. I might throw this, I'll throw this on Drive under the budget. I'm gonna make a new folder for 2021.
That's actually a good point as well. I believe up until this date, all the financials are filed within the drive. Well, I still have access to it. So we should be good as far as all the financial statements, every single invoice I received, et cetera. So we're good there.
Perfect. All right, well, that settles that. Jeff and I need to follow up with Michelle and Michael on a number of items, one of which is this next item we discussed last month, and I believe we voted on, or we did, that we were comfortable at least beginning negotiations with full scope for another term. The email I sent them, I mentioned, of course, there are things that would need to be sorted out if there needs to be any adjustments on their end or ours, but I still haven't heard back from her, so it's still kind of in limbo. And it ends here.
When is it?
June.
End of June?
I believe so.
Okay.
Gosh.
Yeah, because that's another part of the budget too that
Maybe it's
needs...
July, actually. Let me look here.
And we'll need a new contract.
Yep. July. I think it's July. So the end of June. June 30th is when our agreement is terminated. So
Better make that an agenda item for next month.
yeah.
Renew our contract.
Yeah, big action item. We'll reach out to her. Maybe I'll try to set up a call, Jeff and Jenny, so we can have a sidebar with her. Anything else on that one? Okay. These last four items are kind of carryovers from last month. I just kept them in. I haven't heard anything else on the GIS best practices, and I didn't attend the MLIAC council meeting. And I believe Eric is not going to be here today, so I don't know if anything came up during that meeting. Does anybody know?
No, I don't think it did. Did it, Rob?
No, I attended the meeting and I don't recall any items relevant to us that were discussed.
Okay. Why don't I have a conversation with Aaron? Because we're probably gonna have to loop in Marls as well.
I think they are already.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah.
I attended a workshop yesterday about the new datum, and it sounds like a lot of like kind of the I guess the planning of it or the public comment of it's already passed, but it would be nice to get into the next phase of it, and more of recommendations as we're getting closer, because it sounds like they're not going to release until 2025. But as we get closer to that is when we're going to need to start figuring out best practices for transformations, and a lot of people are not even on the 2011. So I think moving everybody to the 2011 now, I know that's what we're doing here at the State Library. So, and then I think there's other things. I know Great Falls are still in US feet. So I know US feet is not going to be recognized at all in the new datum. So, and it kind of really isn't already mentioned or recognized in the current datum, the 2011. They only have international feet. So there's certain states that, they've strictly went one way or the other. So yeah, I think it would be good to jump into that conversation and reach out to our membership and see who would best to draw from that. Because obviously there's much more qualified people than me, but I'm still interested from a user perspective in transformations and datums.
So I read back through the minutes from the MLAC meeting. I wasn't able to attend because I was in a workshop that day, but it looks to me like, from reading the minutes, that
was 2 months ago.
this was a MAGIP best practices document that the state library supported.
That was a while ago. That was a long time ago, I think. That was when I think Curtis was still here.
The original document.
Yeah, the original. Yep.
And they
What?
phased
Yeah,
it
it was
out.
05 or 06, way back when.
Yep.
But it was a MAGIP document, not an MLAC document originally, that like our tech committee had worked on and came up with, and then had asked MLAC for support of it. So that might be something for our new tech person to work on, is because I know we had tossed around, we've talked about it multiple times about coming up or updating the best practices.
Yeah.
And kind of tabled it. So that's something that maybe the new tech person could
Yeah,
work on.
and I think the council is all for helping and supporting that document as well. But I think I would want them more involved in the creation of the document itself too. So yeah, I think that's probably a good thing to mention to Jason, and maybe something that if he's interested, he can work on within his committee. So.
Yeah, good points. Okay, well, I think we can move on unless anybody else wants to discuss that.
Yeah, I guess I have one other comment. So, so Jenny, that was referencing the April minutes. Emily, I kind of had one last week, I think.
It was the one, yeah, it was the board meeting that they had during the conference.
Yeah, but last week's was more of just a working session. So.
Yeah, and that's where I heard about it, was the April one. I was in that meeting, and they had just mentioned that they wanted to loop MAGIP in. So. Steve, I wasn't able to attend that local government working group kickoff meeting. How did that go?
Well, we did a member development committee meeting, kind of a kickoff meeting there, to kind of discuss the local government working group. And I think it's looking like our first working group meeting will be next week on the 27th at 2 o'clock. I'm going to probably send out a general announcement this afternoon or tomorrow to everyone. I'm kind of waiting to hear back from a couple folks to make sure that date and time will work. But yeah, I think there's definitely some excitement there, and keep your eyes open for the invite. It should be good. I'm formulating an agenda right now, so if anyone has ideas, I'm always open to them.
Did anybody else attend the member development committee meeting?
I was there.
Yeah, I was there too.
Jeff and Jenny and Heather and Aaron was there, I believe.
Yeah, Aaron Vaughn.
And Tony, what's his name?
Yeah.
So it was a good turnout.
Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy Lecter
thanks.
was there. Yeah, it was decent. I think 4 or 5 folks. So I think most people were more interested in the local government stuff than the actual committee. But at least there's some interest there, and hopefully we'll keep some motivation moving forward with that group.
Awesome. Yeah, I wonder if it wouldn't hurt to loop in Jan Cunningham and Shane Clark. I can forward the invite to them. They might be on the MAGIP listserv. But
I know Shane's on the listserv there. So
okay, cool.
They both said that they would be interested in being on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the idea is I'll send out to everyone on the listserv and just kind of ask for RSVPs and see what numbers we're looking at and how many people are planning on attending. And then I figure, we can reach out to Esri or some other vendors or the state or someone too if we need.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I still kind of hesitate with the listserv. I know we've had this conversation a couple years ago too. There's just not a lot of, I mean, I almost feel that well, and then you don't get the ones that are not MAGIP members. So there's pros and cons to both. Well, we could just send it out to both. But both the MAGIP Wild Apricot listing and the listserv. I mean, the problem with the listserv is it just doesn't hit some of the smaller communities where they don't know how to sign up for the listserv. Or, I mean, I guess we could tackle that at some point and see who's not on the listserv that should be. But you can only, do so much, but I don't know. I just wish there was like maybe, more of segmented listservs, like a local government's one where it, pretty much hits all the major GIS departments, but.
So you're saying create a more focused email groups?
Yeah, but I mean, that's
You can do
a
that
huge,
in Google Group.
that's a huge undertaking. But I think the local government, though, I think once you establish a listing, you can essentially just send out that meeting announcement and all the related stuff right in there. So
I mean, you could go knocking on the door of every county and city website, and they have contact info. I mean, to me, that's what it would entail.
I kind of did that to the roundtable. I kind of hit up kind of the major GIS departments, or at least just the heads. And so that's the ones I know I could count on. And I did actually kind of sprinkle in like your Blaine County, your Sheridan County, some of these, Beaverhead County, some of these smaller ones, where they don't necessarily have much of a GIS presence, may just be a planning director that may just be supervising one of the planners that does GIS on the side. That's sometimes that's all it is, but they certainly would not be on the listserv, but I think it still would be valuable to loop them in. So
there is this, and I don't know if demographics the word, but a couple of years ago, like I tried kind of doing that for like the rural utilities, because so many of the rural utilities have GIS staff, like even the smaller ones do, like a dedicated GIS technician or something like that in the irrigation districts. And I feel like those are not, and this is digressing quite a bit from this discussion, but there may be some opportunity to figure out ways to infiltrate those other organizations that aren't as well represented within MAGIP, but I still think there's growing geospatial professionals out there. I'm just seeing it with our clients too.
Yeah.
So many.
Yeah.
So.
I can work with Steve because we can at least send it out to the listserv as kind of just and then just kind of grow it from there. Maybe just hit the ones that we know that aren't on the listserv that would still be of interest. So, I mean, I can cross-reference that, no problem. So.
Well, and here's a thought I'm kind of having about this is it seems like MAGIP is kind of leading the charge with this local government working group. I know we were trying to weasel our way out of it, but I think that's just how it's going to be. And so I guess I'm a little reluctant to invite non-MAGIP members. I think people, if they want to participate and they want to take advantage of this, if MAGIP's really going to be the ones running it, which it's looking like is going to be the case, I think maybe we should limit it. I mean, if someone's not a member and they hear it through the grapevine, they want to join, I don't think we'll say no, but I'm a little hesitant to reach out much beyond MAGIP. It might be a little bit of a carrot to get people to join. Like, oh, hey, like they have these working groups. If I pay the $30,
then you probably should use
member benefit.
Then we should use the Wild Apricot MAGIP membership listing then. Then it's a guarantee that it doesn't hit some of these other outlets. And well, I guess not necessarily a guarantee, but but I think you would have a better chance of hitting those folks that are in the smaller counties that are MAGIP members but don't care to be on the listserv. Yeah.
So, and I think I don't think we need to be exclusive. but I think, I don't think we should, I don't think, Jeff, you should take the time to be going to Blaine County's website and cold calling these folks to join.
I have a lot of the emails though.
That's a lot of time and effort. And I just, at this point, I don't really see the return on that. For the conference, sure, but for this group, I don't know if that's necessarily worth that much time and energy.
Well, then let's use Wild Apricot then, the listing out of there then.
Okay. I've not used that listserv, or that email list, so I'll have to work with you on getting that figured out.
Well, yeah, it's not as intuitive as one would think, but yeah, I obviously was setting up the salary survey that way too. So.
Well, I don't see why you couldn't use the listserv. I think what Steve, and maybe I'm wrong, you're just saying we don't need to go out and grassroots this thing, just kind of use what we have. And is that right? I mean,
yeah. If they're on the listserv and if they're on the Wild Apricot, I think that's showing enough intent to participate to appease me.
Okay.
I would use the Wild Apricot because if they're not on the listserv, there might be a reason that they're not. If they don't want to get every email or whatever.
Or they're not aware of it too.
More members, then I would say use the Wild Apricot.
And there's this assumption too that, MAGIP member, I subscribing to the listserv. But then we also have cases like Frank, where he moved from the county to the city, and you change your email address in the MAGIP website, but that doesn't do anything for the listserv. That's a separate. Yep. That's a separate email listing entirely. So
but you can check the box that you don't want to be part of that listserv, so that you're not getting every single thing that comes through.
Yeah, but that's a fairly new thing too, though. I think the people that signed up 15, 20 years ago, there was no box. I think that was a fairly recent addition.
I think that happened when we went to Wild Apricot because of sending out emails and stuff, but now you can do it. So we were using Gmail a lot more.
Well, maybe for this first, let's hit both up and kind of just see what that produces.
And you'll start out with a big group that'll get whittled down to the people that really want to be involved anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm okay with casting a wide net at first, but let's not break our necks over it, and kind of see where that puts us for this first meeting.
So sounds good. Thanks, Steve. We only have 15 minutes left, so I want to make sure the committees have their chance to give their report, and we can loop back up to new business if time allows. I think we've hit at least the important items. So with that, Jeremy, do you have anything on the Treasurer's front?
So on Treasury, we're sitting at kind of the normal situation. I'll pull up my notes here. A lot of it was kind of the remaining outstanding factors from the conference itself. Eric Pimpler was one of the big pieces that came out of the funding. That check did clear, and that was $8,217 check. We did start the board insurance once again, so the first installment of 3 went out. That's $279. Mary Archambault completed our taxes about a month and a half ago at this point. That was $300. Full Scope did have 2 larger checks this time. A lot of it was the reimbursement of quite a bit of money that they spent out there on feed loop or gifts, things of that nature. So rather than our normal $1,317, we had a $2,289 check, as well as an $1,847 check. So those 2 came out. We did also have the 2 scholarships be sent out as well. They have not yet cashed those checks, but I did contact the admissions office to let them know that those are incoming. Sent a letter with them. They're well aware, the student, the ID, or students and their IDs. So that should all be good. Otherwise, checking right now, we're sitting at $5,419.45, and savings we're at $44,539.79. So that's where we're sitting. Pretty healthy at the moment, and actually pretty good situation, all things considered. Certainly came out of this conference in the last year really well, better than I anticipated, but also quite healthy. So I think we're doing great.
Jeremy, are we still waiting probably for those checks back from the colloquium students?
Sorry, what's that?
We're probably still waiting for checks back from the colloquium students,
Checks back from them?
that they cashed them. that
Oh, they
went-
did cash those, yes. And I did also note the 2 canceled checks as well, and stuck those in our receipts folder. So thank you for that, Jenny, and thanks for the reminder as well.
I don't know if everybody knew about that, what happened with that.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
So with the colloquium, the Earth Sciences Colloquium MSU, we actually had a tie for first place. So we talked to them and let them know that what we were going to do, instead of a first and second of being was 150 to 100 for first and 50 for second, I returned those checks to Jeremy and we made them each $75, and then we did a third place for 25.
I guess I should have been on top of this, but who were they? I guess I probably should have put it on social media.
I think we put it on the website, and if you need me to, I can send you I don't know that I got links on there for their projects, because it was about 2 or 3 weeks before I got permission from the third member, the third place one. But just a second, I can get you their names. I think.
I have them here, Jenny. We had Cameron Hofer, Joseph Bobrowski, and Kendall Edmo were the top 3. I don't have
Joseph
which
and
one.
Kendall were number ones, first places, and then Joe was third place.
And I haven't gotten them on the website yet. I have the email here, and thanks for the reminder.
Okay, well, I will send you the links then for the.
Yeah, you
The
sent them.
project.
I have them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it looks like you had CC Jeff, but it went to his Great Falls email. So.
Because I'm a dope.
No.
That's not going to happen anymore. I got that fixed, I think, finally.
Yeah.
I've sent emails to Jeff's Great Falls
Yeah.
email account too.
It continues to live on.
Aaron told me
Aaron's
that
very good
they're
about
closing
letting
you
us
down
know.
soon, though, Jeff. So it'll just bounce back here.
Good, good. I don't know why they left it on so long. I think Aaron
Because you're
references.
still getting email.
Well, he's got a forward that sets up from mine to his. So, but he still likes to log into my old one, just because there's a ton of history in there.
He can pretend to be you and like make people mad.
Good.
Exactly.
Good. I mean, I think it's a kind of a security protocol breach, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's how it works at the state too. Once you leave, your supervisor has access to your email.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same here.
Okay.
Any questions for Jeremy, treasury wise, in his last report
So sad.
on this term?
We're just gonna keep making him come to meetings, though. So
Deputy Treasurer.
VP, start the campaign.
Yep.
Get the website started.
Well, thank you so much, Jeremy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks, everyone. Like I said, I can't stress enough that it's been a pleasure. So appreciate working with y'all.
Good luck with the new hire too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's coming up soon. World of change. The land records guy started. We have this GIS person. It's going to be a new office before we know it.
Yeah, I'll have to make the trip down there to meet the new people. So
Please do. Please do. I'll let you know when we get that started up.
yeah, we'll be reopening our office here shortly. So in the next couple months. So
Yeah.
Okay,
look forward to it.
The CDC, the new guidelines, if you're fully vaccinated, it's kind of changed some things last few days.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys start getting meetup requests here. But
Yep.
we shall see.
Rob, how goes scholarships and grants?
Well, I was glad to hear that that the scholarship checks went out. For the grants, we asked the Frenchtown School to revise their application and resubmit it to us by the 14th, but I hadn't seen that yet. So we'll give them another week and see where they are. Besides that, I don't have a whole lot to report. I think we did some nice streamlining to the application process this year, and getting final reports and stuff up on the website. So I feel like we've made slow but incremental progress this year. What can you guys tell me about the elections? When I checked last, I didn't see an update.
Oh yeah, you missed our update at the beginning. Yeah, you won.
Oh, all right, cool.
Let's zoom to Rob's results here.
Yeah, landslide.
Rob.
You won big.
Oh wow. Well, shit. That's cool.
Don't cry, Rob.
Were you hoping Craig was going to beat you out?
No, I wasn't. But I like Craig, and I'm glad he stepped forward. I think we've been trying to get him to be involved for a while, and he's been hesitant. So.
Has he been on your committee?
He's not, but I have no qualms about asking him to be on the committee.
Well, if he's interested enough to run for.
Yeah, I want to hear his. What do you call that? Conciliation speech.
His concession speech. I wouldn't lead off with that. If you first item on the meeting is Craig's concession.
Yep. Make MAGIP great. Make MAGIP great again.
Yeah, he'll refuse to do it and won't.
Right.
He's in Missoula. He's in Missoula, right?
Yeah, he's in Florida. He can't be reached right now.
He'll hold his own scholarship and grants meeting.
He typically works in Missoula, though, right? Or does he not live in Missoula?
Yeah, he lives in Missoula, and he probably works, I don't know, 20 blocks from where I am right now.
Well, maybe we can rope him into being a co-chair for the conference since it's going to be in Missoula next year.
Yeah,
Kyle would love that. Yeah, well, I mean, because Kyle's not going to get any help from Andrew. Obviously some as just a regular member, but
yeah. Well, it's a great idea, and I will move forward and do that. Yeah.
Thanks, Rob, and congratulations on your win. It's gonna be great to have you back.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very pleased.
5 minutes left, so we'll try to get through the rest of these. Steve, is there anything you want? I know you already talked quite a bit about the first meeting. Anything else?
No, just say for time. The only other thing that kind of came up consistently was kind of what is the mission statement for the member development committee. So that's kind of on the docket and stuff we're thinking about for the next meeting.
Yeah, and we've gotten 140 responses to the salary survey. I extended it another 2 weeks last week, so probably expect another reminder in the next few days. So, but yeah, I think Steve and I will talk about that into June. So getting some report out. So
awesome. Thank you. Phoebe, how's it been having a month without conference planning happening very actively?
Yeah, I've feel like I've been a little MIA, and I've also been back into field work. So I'm, gone 1 week, back 1 week. So it's been kind of good timing, I guess. Yeah, for the conference committee, there was one task, actually. I think, Jeff, I reached out to you that I kind of neglected to handle yet, which is kind of what to do with the recordings from the conference.
Yeah, I'll follow up with you, Phoebe.
Yeah, so that's one item to kind of finish up here before we kind of start thinking about next year. So
thanks, Phoebe. And I don't know I think you've met Kyle. He's expressed that he is definitely interested in it, at least co-chairing next year's conference in Missoula, and he did a lot the previous year. He didn't do much this year, but I'll definitely mention to him at some point to reach out to you and get that discussion going.
Yeah, that sounds good. That would be another, and you just mentioned, I think, a Craig who might be a co-chair. Okay, yeah.
Thanks, Phoebe. Kenny, how's tech committee?
Nothing to report. I do have a 10-minute concession speech that I can give, but since we only have 3 minutes.
Shoot, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, no, it's been enjoyable working in this role, and I'll still be around. So let me know if I can contribute, and maybe I'll still be on the technical committee and helping out, hopefully. So yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Kenny.
Thank you.
So I'm drafting the email to the winners of the election, and I just put on there that I knew our outgoing members would be willing to help with the new board member positions.
Never.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once a MAGIP member, always a MAGIP member, Heather.
Yeah,
that goes without saying.
You're on the board for life.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to do that, Jenny. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Kenny. You did an awesome job in the workshops this year, and in the previous year would have been amazing had we been able to have the conference. So
yeah, that's the sad part for me, is I thought we just had an amazing lineup for the 2020 in Missoula, and then we had to scrap the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll have an amazing lineup next year when we're in Missoula for real. So here's hoping.
Thanks, Kenny.
Maybe that's what the logo or the conference theme should be. Missoula for reals.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's a genius.
Good job, Kenny.
Megan, is there anything web-wise you wanted to mention, or
Instead of just random comments? No updates. I'll get the Earth Sciences Colloquium winners posted, and then let me know if you need any assistance with conference recordings anywhere. And then the election results, I'll get those posted too once everyone's been notified, and you let me know.
Thanks, Megan. No Emiliak, no Michelle, so we can forgo that. Heather, is there anything? I mean, you've been awesome. Is there anything you
Concession
wanted?
speech?
Yeah. What's your concession speech?
Hoping to help out with the professional member development committee some more. So Stephen, I'll be with you on that. And I just really appreciate you guys welcoming me in as a newbie, and hope to serve on the board again someday.
Thank you for being willing to step up.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Heather.
It was great being on the board with you, Heather. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, it's 3 o'clock. I have an adjacent meeting, so is anybody? I guess you all can continue to talk if you want. I can jump off, but anybody want a motion to end? Otherwise, I'll jump off.
I'll make a motion to end.
Or a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? All right. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Jeremy, Heather, and Kenny, so much for everything that you've done, and definitely looking forward to staying in touch as we
Absolutely.
transition.
Bye, guys.
Thanks all.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
See y'all.
Bye, everyone.
See ya. Take care.
Jeff,
you
did
too.
you need me to stay on for a minute?
Yeah, sure. I guess I'll stop the recording.